The name by which you know me, Oona, means the one who comes forward. You can translate it as emissary, as it identifies my function for the Intergalactic Confederation's armada visiting your star system. As a matter of fact, you could not pronounce my real name. I am invited to present to you this edition 64 of Star Nation News. Get ready. Engage. Greetings to all Earthlings listening to this message. My voice will lead you to the comments of my people on the latest developments of the global situation on your planet as a civilization rising for the ashes of a terrible war of liberation. Despite the trials and the incredible challenges, you have come forward as a victorious society. Nevertheless, many challenges lie ahead. In order to transform a society by its own efforts, it is necessary to eradicate all elements of negative control, as well as related institutions and collateral effects. Countless deals have been conducted by the shadow societies on your planet, whose organizational chart was drawn up by the dark side of an Anach faction since the foundations of your contemporary history. I call them the descendants of you. Of course, they enslaved the populations without the people concerned even realizing it. This slavery was not physical, but mental. They stole your sovereignty, your intergalactic and interstellar identity, making you believe that the reason for your existence, and therefore the nature of consciousness, was formatted to suit a state of survival established by the masters. You didn't even know that there were masters controlling your lives and insinuating themselves into your innermost thoughts, since you weren't even aware that you were slaves. The first step in initiating this great planetary liberation was to open your eyes, to wake up. And we were there to help. Long before our return to your star system in 2021, the Galactic Federation of Worlds was already fighting alongside your armies in secret. Why the secrecy? Because it was the only way to circumvent the pernicious plans of the shadows Youth's faction was so deeply rooted in all aspects of your societies that forceful action would have been disastrous. As it was, the only plan was to rouse the population while the armies clashed. And we succeeded all together. There is nothing more wonderful than witnessing the liberation of a people from the tyranny of the shadows. I would, however, like to add a few important remarks. If the shadow has failed, its dying army is still active on the battlefield. These people know no meaning of retreat. They will fight to the bitter end until the last of them breathes. So you must all remain on your guard while singing of freedom. Although their power is waning, their deplorable actions are still active. Be careful and stay protected. One area in which they are still effective is dark magic. They are still able to cast spells. But I'll give you the key to warding off these final resort attacks. Keep your vibration high by eradicating these elements from your vibratory fields. Fear, anger and feelings of revenge, negative judgment leading to divisive actions, low self-esteem, addiction to artificial pleasures, distractions, poisons in your nutrition. On the contrary, privilege, compassion, hope, self-esteem and recognition of your sovereignty as universal co-creators. Focus on your potential to manifest and build the future you desire. A healthy life on all levels. If you follow all these instructions, the shadow will have no effect on you. They will eventually be gone. To ward off their spells, set forth to rediscover the original soul seed at the heart of your eternal being, which has been beating in your chest for millions of years of your time, and magnify its power to encompass you totally, physically and mentally. And say these words. I, eternal child of the Creator, reject all intrusive shadows from my physical, vibratory, and mental field. By the omnipotent power of the universal Creator, I radiate the light of creative love. If you say these words 9 times, you will overcome their magic, no matter how powerful as it may be. Faced with the power of the Creator's love. All thoughts that manifest themselves in the shadows fade into nothingness. You know me as the one who come forward, Oona. The Ramai come from the binary subgiant star system called Capella or Ixtiel in the constellation of Auriga, and their homeworld is called Rama. They are short and bulky with square jaws and an elongated skull. Their facial features are similar to those of South American humans on Terra, but with a thinner nose. Their eyes are black, brown or dark gray, elongated and narrow, and they have slightly pointed ears. Their race is part of the Anunnaki group and originally came from the Butes zone. The Ramai came to Earth with the Anunnaki expedition, and they were known as Naakal, the Star Brothers. It is necessary to keep in mind that the Anunnaki are an amalgamation of different races. At the time when Atlantis was flourishing as a civilization, the Ramai claimed their allegiance to the Yu Empire, the rule of Enlil, the great enemy of Atlantis. Unfortunately for the Ramai group, they were left to fend for themselves when Enlil decided to wipe out most of the Earth in an apocalyptic cataclysm. After the Younger Dryas event, the Ramai took up residence in the underground South and Central America. They were at the origin of the rise of the Mayan civilization. Considerably advanced in the science, they taught the Mayans about astronomy and time, and then one day they left when the Mayan civilization was at its peak. Unfortunately, in spite of all the knowledge the Ramai offered them, after their departure, the Mayans began to perform blood sacrifices in their name, elevating them to the status of gods with great superstition. Neglected by Enlil, the Ramai came under the protection of the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and they still visit Terra occasionally. The reason the Ramai didn't seek the protection of the Anunnaki regent, Anu, instead, was that Earth was still under the guardianship of Enlil and his son Ninurta. Their memory remained alive through local myths and folklore, and their origins were not forgotten, as evidenced by ancient local buildings built 2,280 years ago, perpendicular to the rising of the star Capella. The Ramai practice interdimensional and time travel. Their ships have a metallic aspect, elongated with wings, silvery and bright.
Faith is knowing that even if you do not see the light of a day, you trust that the sun will rise at the end of the night.
Star Nation News was brought to you by Elena Danan. Don't miss the latest news every Monday on Elena Danan's channel. Video directed by StefZak.